And I don't want to answer no more questions. Okay?
What was this man Callan like?
He didn't have one thought for life. Not one thought.
The Angolan government intend to use this trial to show the people of Angola and of the world, in their words, that the myth of mercenary invincibility has been destroyed. That's the theme of wall posters which surround the building where the trial will begin later this week. The legend reads, "The Angolan people and their strong right arm, the Popular Forces for the Liberation of Angola, have smashed the mercenary myth." And to reinforce the point, the money pouring from the army helmet is in American dollars. It's a theme repeated in a booklet handed to all the journalists in Luanda for the trial. It's an expensively produced set of biographies of the 13 prisoners, translated into 3 languages. The first biography is that of Costas Georgiou, the so-called Colonel Callan. Each of the mercenaries is to be tried separately, but the Angolan authorities have already said that the charges against Callan would be different from those against the other 12 men. As the trial approaches, the Angolan newspapers are hammering home the same message, that the mercenaries could not have operated without the connivance and collaboration of what are described as Western imperialist governments. And the published booklet of biographies contains this warning: the trial and International Commission of Inquiry in Angola should serve notice on the paymasters and organisers, as well as the mercenaries themselves, that their time is over. Robert Southgate, ITN, Luanda, Angola. Any doubts that may have remained about the nature of this trial have now been ended. The Angolan government's attitude to the 13 men in the dock, 10 of them from Britain, was spelled out at an impromptu news conference by the Director of Information, Dr. Luis de Almeida.
They are guilty. And I think some of them, even, look, not because we say that they are guilty. Why we didn't find any lawyer in Britain to defend them? It's because even the lawyer, your British nationals, they are already convinced that they are guilty.
Dr. Almeida said the defence of the British mercenaries would be undertaken by 3 Angolan lawyers. I asked him if the prisoners had been told the precise charges against them.
The mercenaries, oh, they are not so naive like that.
No, but do they know specifically what those charges are?
Yes, they came to a country, they've been paid to come to a country and to kill people.
But the legal specific
and
charges...
to violate the sovereignty of this country.
But isn't it going to be very difficult for an Angolan lawyer to defend them?
Yes, it will be very difficult, and our people has difficulties to understand it. But we say to our people that you are a sovereign state, you are an independent state. Yeah, there are some international laws. You have to accept this international law.
Meanwhile, the Angolan government's uncompromising attitude was underlined as delegates assembled in a hall of Luanda's museum for the International Commission of Inquiry, which is to investigate the whole question of the recruitment and operation of mercenaries. Delegates were invited from 29 countries and 3 liberation movements. And finally, to reinforce their attitude, the Angolan government invited members of the commission to inspect a display of captured mercenary equipment and atrocity pictures in a hall adjoining the one where the commission is meeting. Equipment on display included a Chinese anti-aircraft gun, an American Browning machine gun, various mortars, handguns, and rifles. The photographs included copies of the British mercenaries' passports, lots of American dollars, and pictures of the Angolan and the mercenary dead. Robert Southgate, News at 10, Luanda, Angola. This was the first time that all 13 prisoners had been seen together in public, and probably the last until they're all brought back in to hear the verdicts. 2 of them, Andrew Mackenzie, whose left leg has been amputated below the knee, and John Nammock, at 20, the youngest of the defendants, whose right foot is in plaster, are in wheelchairs. The rest have been placed on stools with orders to look straight ahead and not to talk to each other. Behind them, a row of FAPLA, the Angolan soldiers, armed with pistols. Members of the International Commission of Inquiry, among them London lawyer Mr. Stephen Sedley, attend the trial each day as observers. So too does Mr. Hugh Byatt, the diplomat who's the British government's official observer at the trial. The Angolan Justice Minister, Dr. Diogenes Boavida, has also been in the public seats each day. The defense lawyers sit to the left of the judges. Callan's lawyer is a woman, Maria Teresinha Lopes. Gradually, the defense is building up a picture of a group of ex-soldiers, many of whom had been unemployed and who were totally ignorant of the political situation in Angola. The People's Prosecutor, Dr. Manuel Monteiro, has said he has 20 witnesses, although not all may be called. There are 5 judges, 2 of them lawyers, 2 from the army, and 1 representing the OMA, the Angolan Women's Organization. The presiding judge is the Attorney General, Ernesto da Silva. Callan, charged under his real name, Costas Georgiou, and Andrew Mackenzie, described by the prosecution as Callan's right-hand man, faced the most serious charges. The indictment took more than half an hour to read. It lists 139 counts. One by one, the prosecution has outlined a case against each of the defendants. Mackenzie, Malcolm McIntyre, Kenneth Marchant, Michael Wiseman, and Colin Evans were all described as being members of a special commando group commanded by Callan and known as the Killer Group. Callan himself gave evidence at the start of the second day of the trial. Behind him sat Gavin Marchant, the American Gary Acker, and Cecil Fortain, who'd given evidence the previous day and were allowed to listen to the rest of the proceedings. Callan faced his accusers aggressively and showed little sign of repentance.
Okay, all I want to say is this. My identity, and I want this taken down on record, that all my men, which I captured, the so-called mercenaries, i.e. Mackenzie, was not my 2IC. He was not my second in command, okay? And all the rest of my soldiers, which you have captured, were all under my direct command. So any responsibility and any charges against them, okay, they were following my orders. They were just soldiers. That's all I want to say, and I don't want to answer no more questions, okay? No disrespect.
Although the People's Prosecutor has asked for the death penalty for all 13 of the defendants, observers here now feel that that's unlikely to be the court's verdict. And if the death penalty is passed on any of the prisoners, it still has to be ratified by Angola's president, Dr. Neto. Robert Southgate, ITN, Luanda.
They were brought back. This chap had owned up to firing the M66. Callan shot him and ordered the rest to be shot by Regimental Sergeant Major Sam. They were put in there for trying to shoot our own prisoners. Other than that, I don't know the way a psychopath's mind works. They were taken down 6 k's from Macalla and shot by FN rifle fire. 1 bullet will take an arm straight off.
This was ordered by Callan?
This was ordered by Callan.
Who actually did the shooting?
Regimental Sergeant Major Sam, plus 2 blacks.
Was Callan there at the time?
This I don't know, sir.
What happened?
I think, I believe Callan went back into Macalla.
And Sergeant Major Sam, who was he? Or who is he?
He was the, I don't know his second name. He was the Regimental Sergeant Major for the whole company.
An Englishman?
Yes, sir.
What happened to him?
He was court-martialed and shot.
And what's happened to Callan, who ordered the shootings?
Callan was involved in the ambush the following, two evenings following. He had his left leg blown apart. He was left in the jungle with 5 English troops. We believe they've been captured and killed.
What were you actually able to see for yourself of this massacre?
I've seen the bodies, so that's enough.
How did that come about? What were you doing?
I was going to get water down the other side of Macalla the same day of the execution. I was standing guard on top of the lorry. I was in charge of the party going down to get the water. and I saw the bodies from the top of the vehicle.
How many of them, do you know?
At that time, I couldn't count them. So when we came back to look at the bodies with new Lieutenant Colonel when they came, and they were all photographs. It was 13.
What was your reaction at that particular time?
I was 6.
And what was the reaction of other mercenaries to this? And did they take it as a massacre or just as a punishment?
They took it as a massacre. They do each and every one of them made a pact to kill Callan.
What was this man Callan like?
An animal. 1 minute smiling, even funny. Then the next minute vicious. He didn't have one thought for life. Not one thought.